Amazonia, nation loyalty. Brethren, so our Savior who wanted us for freedom. I never saw the hero for God alone we gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation and joy forevermore. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of His nation. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of His nation.
My fellow Amazonians, soldiers of the revolution, I bring you greetings from all those who continue to believe in us, from all who stand with us, from all who know our fight is just. Let me start by recognizing our brave men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the defense of our freedoms. There are countless others who continue to endure the cruelty that has been and continues to be inflicted on our people by the proxy colonial regime of Cameroon. Know that our nation stands with you, our people stand with you, and those here unborn will remember your name and know you for your bravery and for the sacrifice you have made to uphold our collective right as a people that must always be free from all forms of oppression and tyranny from the colonialism and annexation of Cameroon. Several years ago, under immense pressure from our people, the colonial government of Cameroon approved the opening of the first Anglo-Saxon university in our territory. True to its nature of keeping our people uneducated, they raised the tuition fee to 300,000 amber to keep us from acquiring higher education and consequently remaining their slaves. We rose to question their actions. The repressive regime dismantled the student government and went after its elected leaders. I staged a one-man strike in protest and was banned as a student from ever attending any university within Amazonia and within Cameroon. Since then, I have been marked for extinction by the colonial government of Cameroon and its allies. My fellow countrymen and women, over the years we have made every effort to resist such injustices against our people. We couldn't fight this battle alone, so we joined forces with other Amazonians so as a broom could cleanse our home of such inequalities. We went on to create the Amazonian Governing Council, whose unique mission is to use all necessary means under international law, including targeted diplomacy, community mobilization, and self-defense from abductions, torture, intimidation, and killing of citizens of Amazonia by the government of Cameroon, and to bring full independence of the annexed people of Amazonia. For over a year and a half now, our children have not been to school. They cry for our help and have yelled so the world can hear them loud and clear. Our olds have been shot and killed, and some of them burnt alive in their homes. Their spirits have called on the world community to hear them. Our young continue to be tortured, maimed, our girls raped, and our people killed in their numbers, buried in in mass graves and others left for the wild and nature to take its course. Their voices continue to call on us as a community to listen to their plight. Our towns and villages have been deserted as our families seek refuge in bushes and neighboring countries. Their tears and pain have invited us. Fellow countrymen and women, the world has turned their voices off. The world has closed their eyes, minds and hearts to our people. We are faced by very powerful forces working against our plight to preserve their economic interests either directly or by proxy in our motherland. Fellow Ambazonians, we understand the difficulty of this struggle. We know the colonialists have used tactics such as intimidations, including burning down homes, towns, and cutting down crops of our citizens. They have assassinated presidents like Patrice Lumumba of Congo, John Aguiyi Ironsi of Nigeria, and Thomas Sankara, whom we all know. We know they have infiltrated groups with spies and individuals serving on their request to destroy from the inside out and quell the quest for freedom and justice. We know part of the reason they will not negotiate their exit from homeland is that they are busy strategizing on ways to stop our struggle from freedom. Part of this strategy is sowing seeds of discord and turning us against each other to damage our reputations and destroy our spirit and our hopes. As we argue amongst ourselves and kill each other, they can sit aside and watch our hopes dashed while they continue to exploit us and our homeland. We have seen this regime played before in many other African nations. The sad part is that the colonialist uses some of our vulnerable citizens to this aim. That is why we need to be very vigilant of the groups we ally with, people we deal with, and we need to be very critical of the information we receive, read and share with each other. Citizens of Ambazonia, we find ourselves yet again at the precipice to this struggle. We are presented with a choice on this crossroads. We are presented with the option of choosing our past, the past that has treated us like second-class citizens in our homeland. One that has us watch our truckload of trees that took hundreds of years to grow being ferried away to foreign lands, as we stand by and watch and trek on muddy roads, while those that can afford cars have no roads to drive on. We have the choice where soldiers of a foreign state can do whatever they please, including genocide, rape, maim, and burn down our houses, destroy our crops, and cause the desertion of our towns and villages with no consequences. The past presents us with our children being taught in a language they have no understanding of, where our judges and administrators are all foreigners. A past that has washed away our sense of decorum and replaced it with a foreign culture of corruption, extortion, and disregard for the law. The past presents us with the natural resources bestowed upon us by God, such as our petroleum in the city of Victoria, diamonds in the county of Ndian being channeled to a foreign nation for their benefits, while our people languish in misery. The past exposes the fact that ever since the Germans opened up rubber, black pepper, palm, and tea plantations in 1895 along the Feta coastal region, and left our territory, the infrastructure has remained unchanged and has generally perished. My fellow countrymen and women, here is what the past equally has for us. National Produce Marketing Board transferred to Cameroon and later shut down. West Cameroon Development Agency created to finance industry, shut down. West Cameroon Marketing Board misappropriated with impunity its huge financial reserves taken away. West Cameroon Electricity Corporation, PowerCam, with electricity supply from Yoke shut down. Familiar West Cameroon businesses such as Nanga Company, Kilo Brothers, Neba Auto, and Chair Company staff of credit to force them out of our business. Businesses such as Santa Coffee Estate, Womb Area Development Authority, and Obang Farm Settlement pushed to their death. They shut down our functioning airports such as the Bamenda Tico and closed down our seaports. The past show us how they have taken away from us the responsibility of developing our own towns and villages with unelected foreign governors and government delegates. Our roads that used to be maintained are now all unpassable. Our individual and civil liberties have become confiscated together with our right to due process. Lest I remind you that only the CDC seems to have survived among the general economic infrastructures that made the economy of Ambazonia. But over 70% of its employees today are not Ambazonians. Let me draw your attention to Comrade Ayuk Tabi Siseko and his team, Mancho BBC and countless others who languish in colonial jails for the crime of exercising their human rights. Ndango Patrick, Numbi Walters have all been in jail, tortured, and subjected to inhumane and degrading conditions. Fellow citizens, this is what going back to the past presents to us, just to name a few. We equally have the option to write our own future, our own story, and our own history. I come to you today reminding you that the road ahead is a tough one. The oppressor knows what they stand to lose, so will use every tool in their toolbox to derail the path to our independence and freedom. This will include creating confusion, schisms, and antagonisms amongst us generally, referred to divide, conquer, and rule. I want to call upon you to stand firm, to remain steadfast, and to accept your values as true citizens of Ambazonia, because I see the future. The future is what I know you all want, and I stand with you in that future. I want you to stand with Ambazonia too, because as a people, we are stronger than any strategy they can currently cook it to divide us. They fail to realize that freedom and justice is our collective psyche as brothers and sisters of Ambazonian extraction, and not in any single individual or group. I want you to stand with Ambazonia because we are never going back to those dark days. Let me remind all the detractors out there that the arc of freedom and justice have always and will always bend towards the oppressed. Choose your side wisely, as we are never going back to those dark days, because our people will never be treated as second-class citizens in their homeland again. We are never going back, my people. We are never going back because our students will never again be denied education for exercising their basic human rights. We are never going back. We are never going back because the children will be taught in a foreign language and our lawyers stripped of respect and their human dignity by foreigners who know no limits to human injustices. We are never going back. We are never going back to unelected foreign administrators who torture, maim, rape, kill, burn our homes and our citizens to maintain control over our people. We are never going back, my people. We are never going back to bad roads, poor sanitation, and a lack of potable water for our children. Children, while the occupation lavishes over our natural resources. We are never going back. We are never going back to unlawful arrest, torture, and detentions of our brothers and sisters, while the oppressor insults us in a language that makes us incense with no recourse. We are never going back. We're never going back to where our people are called dogs and cockroaches and have to sit under tables to receive breadcrumbs. We're never going back to where our people from both regions have to travel another country to complete paperwork for any endeavor and be cheated every step of the way. We are never going back again, my people. We're never going back to to a place where our brothers and sisters and parents and uncles denied opportunity simply because the amber blood flows in them. I see a different future for all of us. That is why I have been in the struggle for our liberation, and I know that the future will soon come to pass. Ambazonians, we are just now entering phase 3 of our struggle. We will need each other and each Ambazonian, and we will need your support. Our strategy requires all hands on deck. Dust off your shoes and be prepared to answer the call. Block by block, rooftop by rooftop, quarter by quarter, hamlet by hamlet, town by town, village by village, county by county, zone by zone. We will release ourselves from this yoke of oppression. I know most of you have asked how we intend to do this. We will continue to emphasize our strategy of targeted diplomacy, community mobilization, and self-defense from the hands of the oppressor and annexationist and its allies. We will leave no stone unturned in making our territories, both northern and southern regions, ungovernable and cost prohibitive for the Yaoundé regime and its foreign emissaries. The block by block strategy is designed to minimize our losses. First, you plan a strategy, which we have done so in the past 2 years. Then we fight atomization, which we have done by grouping our people in blocks. Then we undermine the pillars of the occupation, which we are doing in economic sabotage, arresting enablers and collaborators and hitting hard on their military. Once the pillars are shaken and can't hold, the regime will crumble from within Ambazonia. To improvise does not work in a resistance like ours. You have to plan and strategize. To the people of Cameroon, I understand you have some problems too. For your government is hardly working for you as well. I want you to know our plight has never been against you and will never be against you. My fellow countrymen and women, now to you, my fellow Ambazonians, our struggle is just. Our cause is ordained, and your spirit and resolve remains unshaken. Let no one tell you otherwise. Let no one tell you you cannot fight within any bloc. Let no one tell you you have to group yourself under an aristocracy, monolithic oligarchy to be able to fight for Ambazonia. Fight from block to block, neighborhood by neighborhood, until we decapitate the beast from Ambazonia, take back our land, and build a future for our children and those yet unborn. God bless you all.